To better understand the Korean view, I'm going up to the Demilitarized Zone, or DMZ, a narrow strip of land that separates North and South Korea. The 60-minute trip from Seoul to the DMZ takes one from the 21st century way back to the darkest days of the Cold War, which I rather enjoy since I'm an old Cold Warrior. The DMZ and the Kashmir ceasefire line are the world's most perilous, dangerous places. Look at these hills behind me and the mountains behind them. That's North Korea. They straddle, they parallel the demilitarized zone. Now, in these mountains and hills are caves and tunnels. And in the caves are an estimated up to 11,000 heavy artillery pieces of North Korea. They'd be very difficult to knock out in time of war, and they are targeted on the South Korean and American forces here along the DMZ, but more important, they're targeted on Seoul, the capital, which is only, as the crow flies, only 40 kilometers south from here. So, in effect, North Korea is holding a gun at the head of South Korea.
There has been so many years of the Korean War, but still, the U.S. forces in Korea is necessary to deter North Korea's any attempt to do hostile behaviors towards South Korea.
But aren't the South Korean armed forces, I've been with them in the field up on the DMZ, these are pretty tough guys. They've got great equipment, they're very together. Aren't they capable of defending Korea on their own?
Yeah, the conventional military power-wise, the South Korean military is stronger, very strong. However, we don't have a nuclear bomb, and North Korea, everybody is telling that they may have 3 or 4 nuclear bombs. So therefore, we need the extended deterrence of American nuclear umbrella.
Do you think there's any chance that the North Korean leader might make up his claim that he's vowed he's going to, quote, liberate South Korea before he dies? Is that just an empty threat?
I don't see it as plausible. Okay. Nowadays, North Korea is really concerned of being absorbed by South Korea, rather than North Korea planning on the so-called communizing South Korea through their so-called revolutionary warfare. I really don't think so. No, North Korean fear is this, fear of being absorbed by South Korea, by its enormous economic power.
So this is a place of military showmanship and economic upmanship that creates a very surreal, very capricious environment for any overtures of diplomacy. Continuing our magical mystery tour of the DMZ, right behind me over my shoulder is the village of Gizongdong, built by the North Koreans. It is almost uninhabited. It's a Potemkin village. It was built to show the South Koreans how well the North Koreans live, a bit of socialist dementia. You'll notice the very high flag tower, which was built to fly the North Korean flag, and it was built so it could be higher than the tower that held the South Korean flag. This is the kind of bizarre activity that's been going on here. It's a reminder of the emptiness and the hollowness of the North Korean regime that's put up similar buildings in the capital Pyongyang of North Korea, but behind all that is a terribly poor, impoverished nation. My raw research notes from trips to Korea often read like a dime store novel. The stories are full of espionage and intrigue, of larger-than-life characters and unbelievable circumstances. Unfortunately, this is real life and not the stuff of Hollywood. There's no way to describe what it's like on the ground without sounding like a bad spy movie.
There, you can move it down this direction. You get a better view into North Korea over there. But we do ask you to stay in the top stair while you were here.
You feel conflicting emotions in a place like this, and awfully glad you don't live in North Korea.
This is KPA Tower number 2. It is monitoring us at this time. Please do not point, wave, or make any gestures towards the North Koreans. However, feel free to take pictures of this tower.
Right behind me, these blue buildings, is the Panmunjom Peace Village, as it's called. It's about as far from peace as you can get. I'd say it's an armed truce. This is the one point where the North Koreans and the South Koreans and the U.S. Come together to hold usually fruitless talks. It's been the scene of clashes over the years, and it's just got to be one of the weirdest and strangest places on Earth. Over my shoulder, beyond the buildings, you'll see a large building in the background, which is a North Korean building, and on top of it are North Koreans videotaping us and photographing us and using some electronics to listen in on us while we're looking at them. It is the last great taste of the Cold War. We're just happy on this day that things are quiet here. That's not always the case. Quiet, but not calm. Passive, but not peaceful. Staring across this imaginary yet very real line, it is obvious that there are two very divided Koreas. Behind me, we see North Korean guards right over here, very tough-looking men. And behind them are a bunch of North Korean tourists who come to look at this bizarre border crossing point. And the North Korean tourists are looking at us, we're looking at them, and they're soldiers. And it's like peoples from two different planets here looking at each other. Nobody gets close. We've been instructed not to wave, not to smile, not to make any untoward gestures. North Koreans are waving at us occasionally, trying to make us respond, but we've been ordered not to. And all around us are North Korean troops, and this is just the tip of North Korea's 1.1 million man army, most of which is concentrated here just to the north of the DMZ. There are very few ways for a Westerner to visit North Korea, but then again, there are not many of us who are all that interested.
Any of you at any time would like to make the trip to North Korea? All you have to do is cross this table, and where those microphones are at, you will be in North Korea. At this time, everyone still is in the Republic of Korea. The soldiers that you are seeing here, they are standing here for your protection. They are standing at a modified stance of Taekwondo, or what we like to call rock ready. It is this stance along with the sunglasses used to show no emotion towards the North Koreans.
Well, here I am in North Korea. On the other side in the Panmunjom Peace Village, in this weird and bizarre and hallucinogenic place where the two sides supposedly meet to talk peace, and have been talking peace ever since the end of the Korean War 6 decades ago. We're here with some very tough-looking Republic of Korea soldiers who look like they could kill you with the blink of an eye if you're not good. And they're here to protect us against any intrusions by North Korean soldiers who have been acting up. They're right outside, they're watching us. This is just a strange place because there's so much hostility here. You can feel it sizzling, but you never know when things are going to erupt and explode in violence. Just out this window is the enemy, or is it? What does he think of our television crew? Does he long for the wealth and comforts of the West, which are protected by barbed wire and American power, or does he even know? I need to understand all the people of Korea, and more clearly, in order to truly see the other side of the story.